Is this the coolest Bluetooth speaker in the market? Let's find out. Dave Taylor here, and this time I'm looking at the JBL Pulse 3 waterproof Bluetooth speaker with light show. And that's what you're seeing here. There's a bit of a light show, but it's all controlled by an app. So let's go ahead and I'm going to change the settings, right? So let me just get things right on my phone. And okay, so you can see I've paired the app with the speaker. So now let's go and tap. And this is Jet. Let's change to Explosion. I know it's a little hard to see. These obviously work better in the dark, but there are 8 different settings. This is Equalizer, not very exciting when I'm not playing music. We'll come back and play music in a sec. This is Rave. This is Rainbow, which actually is one of my favorites. It's just nice and cheery. And Fire. And then you can actually customize it yourself with all sorts of different options. I haven't really experimented much with that. Let's go back to Rainbow. There we go. That one's nice. Now, let's see. Let's give it some music, shall we? So, let's go ahead and I'm going to put on some music and you'll see that it should give us some nice visuals, and of course you'll get to hear it too, which is probably the most important part. Let's see, what should we listen to? Let's try this song. And turn the volume up. It's not bad. You can see the speakers reacting to the music. Now, let's bring it down a little bit. I'm going to go back to the app and I'm going to put it on Equalizer so we can actually see what happens when it's explicitly trying to react with the music. So here we go. Now hopefully you can see this because it's pretty cool actually. Different colors represent different frequencies. And as the music goes through different sequences, you can see different lights going on here. So, particularly in a dark room, this would be super effective. Let me go ahead and put this music on pause. Whew. Okay. So, there it is. It is the JBL Pulse 3 speaker. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So, it is IPX7, so it's completely waterproof, which we'll test in a minute. And it's 3.8 pounds, so it's pretty substantial. As you can see, it's a pretty big speaker, actually. It's 20 watts with 3 40mm transducers. Gives you 65 to 20,000 hertz with a sound noise ratio of greater than 80 decibels. But let's go back, 65 to 20,000. A lot of speakers are 20 to 20,000, so there's a little bit of low missing, and that's actually my biggest complaint with the speaker overall. We'll come back and talk about sound quality because I want to just tell you a little bit more about it. So the light show is all the way around, which is really nice, and the audio is designed to go all the way around too. So you can put it in the middle of a room and everyone's going to hear it and everyone's going to get to see the cool light show, man. Has a pretty hefty 6,000 milliamp hour battery that gives you 12 hours of playtime. And not only that, you can use it as a speakerphone. Now, I love the idea of being on a conference call and having this light up as the other person talks. That might make some of these boring conference calls better. Maybe, maybe not. More importantly and more interestingly is this includes something called JBL Connect Plus. And you're ready for this? You can pair this with up to 100 other speakers also running Connect Plus. 100 speakers, that's crazy. That's like you can have it scattered throughout your multi-acre estate and every speaker is playing the same song all in sync. Now if you pair just 2 of them, then you can get left-right stereo, so that's really nice. But you want to do more than 2, super fun. Now of course you have to own speakers that have JBL Connect Plus features, but if you pick up a couple of these Pulse 3s, you're going to get just that. Now, what else can I tell you? The light sequence, as I said, is customizable, and let's go and give it a quick water test while we're here. All right, you ready? You ready, JBL? I hope this works. lot of air bubbles, but still working. And hey, now we're getting some good bass. I can feel the bass. It's pretty cool. But here's the idea, is that you could even just do weird things like put this at the bottom of your pool. For people that like to swim underwater, they would hear the music. Kind of bizarre, but it certainly can do all that. Now, as you saw, worked perfectly fine in the water, no problem there, and now I just need to sort of let it dry out, but it's still working, it's totally fine. That's what the IPX7 is that it's not dustproof or anything, but it is completely waterproof. So it should be waterproof down to about 30 or 40 feet. So definitely the deep end of a pool, you can drop this thing and let people struggle to bring it up while they're listening to music. How awesome is that? So the only other thing left to do before we talk about the audio is to also talk about the price. But let me turn that in a different order. But before I do that, let me ask you, can you go ahead and click on that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel? Thank you. Awesome. Now, the sound is not great. That's what I'm going to say, is that if you imagine that there's sort of a sound frequency from bass all the way to treble, you really want a speaker that's good in all of those, right? And some speakers tend to do this, so you get lots and lots of bass. So it's like a little thumping disco, but there's not much high. And a lot of speakers do this, where there's just no bass at all, and it's all this really bright, tinny treble. And you know, for some stuff, like for audiobooks and stuff, that's fine. And for music that's like this, if you really want to have it sound like you're at the local discotheque or nightclub, then that's great, because that's kind of how they tune their speakers. But I like to have a nice even response, and this just doesn't have a whole lot of bass going on. So it's just a very high-end, sort of strong sound, and I've messed with the equalizer and tried to put on bass boost and everything, and it's just not there. The speaker should have more bass than it does, particularly for the price point, but even for the size. There's a fair amount of electronics in here, but it still sounds good. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not an enjoyable listen, but we have other speakers in the same price range that give you a little more on the low end, so that's worth knowing. Now, the other piece here is the price. And, you know, this is really about the light show. The people that are going to get this are never going to turn the lights off, because that's an integral part of enjoying this speaker. So the music's good, but the light show is really awesome. It's really fun, and they've done such a beautiful job. And all the pairing with multiple speakers, you want to pick up a bunch of these, you can do that, which would involve some investment, because it's $199.95. You can get it in white, which is what this is, or you can get it in black. Obviously the screen is the same. Pick them up at Amazon.com. So $199.95. That's on the higher end for wireless Bluetooth speakers, and I really like it. The light show is fantastic. I can just tell on a dark evening when I want to just really relax. This could be really good mood lighting too, if you want to put on some Barry White or something. That's when I'd use the flame mode, because that seems like that would all work very well. But if you want to have a really good full listening experience, then go in with your eyes open on this. This is the JBL Pulse 3. I'm Dave Taylor, and I'll catch you in my next video.